When you include the physical fitness levels, physical skills, knowledge, socio-emotional behaviors, and attitudes toward the activity in your teaching style, it means that you are analyzing the style of teaching in terms of nice selection. Student behavior during the lesson is the correct and valid answer. Teachers must demonstrate the highest commitment to students and the teaching profession by creating and sustaining a positive, challenging, and safe school environment. This statement is an example of teachers. Strong choice. Code of ethics is the right answer. Which teaching strategy involves students working on real-world problems related to physical education, such as designing a fitness program or analyzing the biomechanics of a particular movement? A. Bravo. Problem-based learning is the answer. Which of the following styles of teaching allows the teacher to make all the decisions about the entire teaching process and give step-by-step procedures that must be followed by the learners? Excellent choice. Command style is the right answer. Which teaching strategy involves students actively participating in physical activities and reflecting on their experiences to gain a deeper understanding of the concepts and skills involved? Right again. Experiential learning is a valid answer. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching students to reflect on their physical activity experiences and gain a deeper understanding of the concepts and skills involved? Or, you got it. Your choice experiential learning is right. A physical education teacher provides a number of tasks to the learners to carry out independently within the given time. What teaching style is associated with the situation? Great thinking. The practice style is the right choice. Which teaching strategy involves students working together in groups to achieve a common goal, such as completing a task or mastering a skill? Clear logic. Your choice cooperative learning is sound and 100% true. Which teaching strategy involves giving explicit instructions on how to perform a skill or activity, often using a step-by-step approach? You chose direct instruction, and it is correct. Which of the following teaching techniques would be most effective for teaching students how to develop their own physical activity plan? Well picked. Inquiry-based learning is the correct answer. A direct teaching activity that allows students to imitate from demonstration or infer from observation the behavior to be learned. Perfect. Modeling is the correct choice. Which teaching strategy involves students exploring physical activities and concepts through questioning, research, and discovery? Nice work. You chose inquiry-based learning, and it is correct. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching students to work collaboratively and communicate effectively with others? Whoa. Solid response. Cooperative learning is a valid choice. Which teaching strategy involves the teacher physically demonstrating a skill or activity for students to observe and imitate? Smart pick. Demonstration is the correct choice. What kind of teaching strategy enables the learners to perform the assigned tasks with less supervision from the teacher? Good thinking. Problem solving is the right answer. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching students to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Good job. Your answer problem-based learning works well here. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching students to analyze the biomechanics of a particular movement? Correct. Inquiry-based learning is the right answer. Teachers who are lifelong learners and professionals needs to attend DASH to stay current in their teaching areas. Valid point. Professional development is true. Which teaching strategy is most effective for introducing new physical education concepts and skills to students? On track. Direct instruction is the correct answer. Which part of the teaching process can help the teacher determine if she has achieved the lesson's objectives? You're right. Assessment is the correct answer. Which of the following technology-based instruction methods is best suited for teaching complex motor skills? Right choice. Virtual reality simulations is the best answer. Which teaching strategy is most effective for promoting creativity and innovation in physical education? Excellent. Inquiry-based learning is a brilliant choice. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching students to design their own fitness programs? Well reasoned. Problem-based learning is the correct choice. Which teaching strategy is most effective for teaching team building and sportsmanship skills? Smart move. Game-based learning is an accurate answer. Which teaching strategy involves using games to teach physical education concepts and skills? Great job. Game-based learning is the accurate answer. The process of teaching in a classroom mainly depends on which type of technical processes. Well done. Software is the right choice. The most recent and effective strategy of teaching which modern teacher accepts is... Correct response. Experiential learning is the most accurate answer. Which of the following counters the teacher's roles as facilitator of learning? Sharp thinking. Does more talks than learners is the right choice. Who established the memory level model in the teaching process? Wow. Exactly. Herbert makes sense and it is right choice. Which is one of the key features of the 21st century education? Nicely done. Lifelong education for all is a solid answer. Which of the following is a secondary type of teaching process? Good thinking. Cognitive is the right answer. Why is journal written by students important to the teacher? Exactly. It assesses what transpired during the learning process makes sense, and it is right choice. Below are some of the toddler learning strategies accept. Correct. Adult conversational teaching technique is the right answer. Which method is suited for teaching a folk dance in P? Nice work. You chose demonstration and it is correct. Which of the following statements is correct? Valid point. There is no single best method is true. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Bravo. Contact Narayan Changder is the answer.